Alright, hey there YouTube. So I do owe you a video on this car. For those of you who are new, this is my 2017 Audi A4 Premium Plus. I bought this car back in October after I traded my trusty 2013 Accord V6. And this is probably actually going to be the final video on this car. I've been without it for a few months now. And with that, I kind of decided that I no longer needed it. So a little bit of a backstory. What had happened was I was on vacation in the Berkshires, out in the western part of the state. And on my way back, I got caught in a snowstorm, coming down the hill on the highway. I caught a patch of ice and just kind of started sliding diagonally down the highway, right into the barrier. So that kind of sucked. I hit the wall pretty good. The car held up really well. I'll insert some pictures here. But turns out my front grille was on back order for about a month and a half. So that's what really held it up. I was without the car for about 2 months and 2 weeks or so. But like I said, with that, I kind of decided that I no longer need it. I picked up, obviously, my black Jeep, and, it's just not really feasible. I can keep this and the Jeep, that would be fine. But, this car just is not worth the cost to me. I'm already going to take a pretty good hit in depreciation. And the car is just going to continue to depreciate like a rock. I kind of knew, getting into this, I knew that was going to happen. And unfortunately, my needs have just kind of changed. I need something I can just kind of put miles on, don't worry about. I bought this with the intention of not driving it very much. And then my green Jeep got totaled out. So in between the green Jeep and the black Jeep, I was driving this every day. And I just didn't like it as an everyday daily driver. Like, it's a fun car, but living with it, just, I don't know. There's just something about it that just isn't worth it to me. Nothing against the car. Like I said, it's a great car. It just does not really fit my needs anymore. But coming up front, you can see this being a mid-trim Premium Plus A4. It's got the LED headlights here. Looks pretty good. Chrome grille, obviously. Coming over here, 18-inch wheels on the Pirelli Cinturato P7 tires. It's a good-looking wheel. It's the standard Premium Plus wheel. You can see standard on the Premium Plus in America is the S-Line appearance package. And as I might have mentioned, this car is Moonlight Blue Metallic. Now, the paint does like to play colors. The car is a tad dirty. Some shades it looks black. Some, in direct sunlight, it can look kind of bluish. I really like the color. That's kind of why I bought it. Coming out back, you can see the dual tips. And we'll open up the trunk while we're back here. It's a pretty good size. I never really used it, but nothing to really complain about there. Definitely a good looking car, but a little too small for what I need. Just in terms of a daily driver, I just cannot get comfortable in this car. I'm not sure what it is. Coming inside, let's see, it does have the smart key, so you can lock the door. You can see the powerful mirrors there, and when you unlock it, coming inside, this is the nougat brown interior. 12-way power driver's seat there. Seats and stuff are still in excellent shape. These seats, I just cannot get comfortable in. I don't know what it is. They just don't fit my 6'5" frame very well. It's almost like the bottom of the seat is just too short. And it kind of kills my back. And even then, the imprints in these seats kind of digs into my back. I don't know why Audi couldn't have just gone with, I like the design. I think it looks good, but these little ribs and the seat just kind of, I don't know, they dig into my back, and it's just not very comforting. Let's see, the natural wood, the natural gray oak wood inlays here. Really like this. Probably one of my favorite parts of the car. Real metal door handle, obviously, and then the power locks and the memory seats. All 4 automatic windows, storage cubby down below, and a trunk release. Coming in the back seat. Looks pretty good. We'll climb back here. You can see I don't fit behind myself very well. Like I said, I'm 6'5", but it is just an A4 after all. You do have heated rear seats. You do have your own climate controls back here with the tri-zone automatic climate control, so that's good. And then you do have an armrest as well, right there, with these cup holders, which are not a very good design. I've gotten these open. I don't know. I'm not even going to mess with it. And we'll go ahead and hop inside, start it up. Shut the door here. Let's see, we have 33,968 miles on it. Is it gonna stop? Okay. So coming in, nothing's really changed in here. Like I said, at first, like when I first sit in this car, it's a great place to be. It's really after about an hour or so of driving. I actually took this car on a little bit of a road trip last night when I got it back. And after an hour, like these seats just don't do it for me. I think they're just a little bit too flat. So my advice, definitely go for the sports seats if you do get this car. But coming over to the steering wheel is nice and thick. It's obviously leather wrapped. Feels pretty good in the hand. Steering's a little on the light side, but it is adjustable. You can see I have it in dynamic right now. This little scrolly wheel over here will let you go through all the different menus. You can see there. Headlights off to the left. You got the all-weather lights and the rear fog lights. We'll leave those on. Blinkers over there and wipers. Heated steering wheel on and off. This is for the nav, like the nav voice commands, Bluetooth commands, and obviously the volume and the audio switch for the 17-speaker 3D Bang & Olufsen, which it's an excellent sound system. I really, really like it. That's probably one of the part of the car that I'll probably miss the most, is that Bang & Olufsen sound. And see, as I mentioned, tri-zone automatic climate control down there. Behind this coffee, you have the drive selector. Let me move this. Auto start stop off, traction control off, and parking sensors off, and then you can shut the screen off with that button all the way to the right. Coming over to the drive select, you can see that we have comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. Let me see if I can zoom you guys in. Well, that's not going to work. But you can see we do have comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. All it really does is it plays with the transmission tuning a little bit, plays with the steering a little bit. Can make it like softer, a little bit more aggressive, that whole sort of thing. Dynamic does make it it is really, really fun to drive in dynamic. I will give it that. Coming into individual, you can customize individual. You can choose comfort, auto, or dynamic for the engine and transmission tuning. And you can also choose comfort, auto, and dynamic for the steering as well. Going back to the nav graphics here, you can see the nav graphics look really good. It's a pretty excellent navigation system. I will give it that. Come down here, you can see you have your audio presets here, which are kind of like touch sensitive. So you can see as I glide my finger over this, they come up on the screen there. This MMI system, really one of the best in the business, in my opinion. I think it's really easy to use. I like it. A little bit of a learning curve, but what can you do? That kind of comes with every system and every car nowadays. You can see you can kind of flick it back and forth. You can turn the wheel, obviously, to make your selection. You can go back to menu here, and then we will go back to, so we'll go to vehicle. So you can see you can also adjust the Audi Drive Select there as well. If I can get back to the menu here, let's just go back to the map or nav, whatever. Switch to map. There we go. Okay. Coming down here, you have the shifter for the 7-speed DSG, or dual clutch gearbox. Do love this transmission. Backup camera there with the guidance lines and the sensors, front and rear sensors, that whole sort of thing. Push for park. Like I said, love this transmission. No complaints with the DSG. Probably one of my favorite another one of my favorite parts of the car. If I had to pick two things, transmission and the audio system. That's that. Electronic parking brake there. Some of more of this natural gray oak wood inlays. The center console here is a little dirty. I had all my stuff in here, and obviously you can see I have it out now. And this, I thought it slid. I guess it doesn't. You can see it does come up and down there in typical Volkswagen style. You can see you can lock it in certain positions if it wants to cooperate. Yeah, you guys get the idea. Well, box over there. Sunroof, obviously, and the touch-sensitive LED lights, which is a nice touch. Frameless rearview mirror, another nice touch. And you have another mirror and vanity light over there. And I think that about sums it up for the front seat. I really don't have much else. I did have to have this driver's door sill plate replaced. That was under warranty. The light was just burnt out on it. So let's pop the hood, and then I'll put the headlights on. That way you can see those. And you know what? We'll put some hazards on too. Coming up underneath the hood. You can see the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. It makes 258 horsepower and 272 pound-feet of torque, something in and around there. Definitely a quick car. It gets to 60 in about 5.5 seconds. Volkswagen, Audi's they've been using this engine in pretty much everything forever. As far as I know, they've kinked out a lot of the reliability issues with oil consumption and that whole sort of thing. But I really don't want to own this car long enough to find out. That's the other thing. I could keep this, but paying to maintaining these is just like, even an A4. They're kind of very particular with the maintenance. And I don't expect, cheap maintenance intervals for an Audi. Don't get me wrong. I didn't expect to just be able to get by with, doing minimal service on this, but I just don't think it's worth it for an A4. The next time I buy an Audi, it's probably going to be like an S5, RS5, even maybe an S7, even an A7, I would take. So that's another part of my reason, but we'll get to that. Let's see more of that lighting there. After driving the Jeep for 2 months, I definitely forgot what it was like to have real headlights again. So that's nice, but yeah, I don't know. I'll miss the car, but I never loved it like I wanted to, if that makes sense. I wanted to love this car so much, and I like it, but it's just not worth it at this point. Let's see the sequential LEDs there in the rear fog light. Actually, we got two. Let's see the rear fog lights there. All right, a little bit of an interruption there, but anyways, Yeah, I don't know if I have much else on this car. Like I said, I hate to keep repeating myself, but it's just it's just time to let it go. I think it was kind of an impulse buy, and just doesn't fit my needs anymore. So, with that being said, that is going to be most likely the final video on the 2017 Audi A4. It was definitely short-lived. Like I said, I've only owned this car since October. But that is going to do it. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, obviously leave them down below. And yeah, thanks for watching.